Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. My name is Sherry Minnie. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in a rural town of Keensburg, Colorado. We're about 45 minutes northeast of Denver. And today is time for our Terrific Tuesday card. I know I was absent last week, but I had a lot going on in my life and time just wasn't there to do my card. So today we're going to be doing this card here, and here's the matching envelope. This is using a set that's in our annual catalog, and it's been in a couple of years, so I won't be surprised if it goes away when our new catalog comes out and the stamp sets, some of the stamp sets are retired. So this one is just kind of a generic encouragement, friendship type of card. What I'm going to make today, I'm in need of a birthday card, and so I'm going to turn this into a birthday card. This particular card could be any type of occasion. I like those kind of cards so that I always have something that I can use for whatever I'm in need of. So to start with, in today what we're using two stamp sets. The first one is Sailing Home. This is in our annual catalog. It's been in for a couple of years. It also has some matching dies, but we're not doing anything with dies today. We're doing the lighthouse and the boat, and this is the stamp that I used on the sample, but today I'm going to do a birthday one, and that's going to be coming from the Celebrating You stamp set. This is in our mini catalog that goes from January to June. So those are the stamp sets. Where our ink colors today are the Memento Black and the Night of Navy. Those are the two colors we'll be using. And we'll be using a blender pen. And that's about all that we're using. So there's not a whole lot of supplies on this card. So in your packet, you will of course have your envelope. You will have a Night of Navy card base. This is 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. And we'll just get this folded and scored and get that out of the way. I always score them so that we have a nice flat folded edge. You will also have a piece of Blackberry Bliss. This is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And we'll have another little small piece. This is the backing for our sentiment. And this one is 1 5/8 by 2 1/8. You'll have a piece of regular basic white. This is 4 by 5 1/4. That's for the inside of your card. You'll have a piece of the Designer Series paper called New Horizon. This is a fantastic pack of paper, and I wished I'd brought it in here to show you a few of the designs. I used it, I believe it was last week I used it even, but it has a lot of watercolored landscape pictures or images on one side, and then the other side is kind of a more subtle mixing of those particular colors and still looks like a watercolor. Love this paper, I've used it a ton and will continue to do so. You'll also have a small piece of the Designer Series paper, and this one is 1.5 inches by 2, and this is what we're actually going to stamp our greeting on. You also have a little tiny strip. This is just something kind of left over from the 6 by 6 sheet that I cut this out of, and I'm going to put that on the inside. So to get started, we're going to do our stamping. Get that out of the way first. So let's work on our greeting for the inside, which is just going to say happy birthday. And I'm going to do it, I think I'll do this in the black. Sorry if I can get it open. So last Friday, I had my first cataract surgery on my left eye, which is by far my worst eye. Everything went really well. My eye is healing well, and I do see, I can tell that my vision is going to be better. However, right now I am in between. I can't wear my glasses. I don't need them for my left eye, and my right eye, it just doesn't work. So therefore I'm not wearing any glasses. So my eye gets a little bit on the tired side, and I have to, I can't work too long at one setting. So here is our inside greeting, and we're going to do some stamping now on our envelope, on our designer series paper, and our inside greeting. And for the inside greeting, we are going to be using the sailboat, and we will be using the Night of Navy ink for that. Okay. So if any of you are contemplating or thinking you're going to have cataract surgery was a piece of cake. It's a little annoying now. I have to put eye drops in 4 times a day, but my eye definitely lets me know when it's time because my eye gets kind of gritty, scratchy. I don't know what you'd want to call it. Okay, so there's that. Now, this is a blender pen. It has some kind of liquid in it. It's the same on both ends, just 2 different. They give you 2 brushes. If you need to clean it, if you use it and you think you need to clean it, you just rub it until it's clean. But all I'm going to do, I'm not adding any ink. I'm just going to pick up and blend out some of the ink from the image that I just stamped. And it's a very easy process. I'm not being super exact. Number one, my eye doesn't see that well, so who knows if I'm staying in the lines. But you just want to spread the color around a little bit. Make the sailboat a little bit of blue. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the envelope. I am going to, again, use the sailboat stamp. I'm going to stamp it right down on our envelope. Again, I will take my blender pen and do the exact same thing as I did on the inside, just kind of spreading this ink around. The sooner you do it after you stamp, the more ink you have to spread around. You can let it dry a little bit and still be able to move it around, and I'll show you that when we do the stamping on the designer series paper. Okay, so there's our envelope. And for this one, we're actually going to be using the big lighthouse image, and we're going to ink this up again. Make sure you have it well inked and have quite a bit of ink on it. I'll try to get it straight. And I'm just going to kind of stamp it right along the horizon of this on this designer series paper. Hold it for a few seconds. And I'm a little crooked there, but you know what? It is what it is. And then I'm going to stamp the sailboat again down here in the corner. Okay. And we will take our blender pen again, and I'm just going to kind of do the same thing as I did on the boat. There is a little window here. I don't even know if you can tell that it's a window, but I'm just going to color in around it. And I don't, like I say, you just use kind of light pressure. Try to get a little bit of the coloring all the way around. The more ink you have on your paper, the more the juicier your ink pad is, the more you're going to pick up. And this has some windows right here, although it's very hard to tell, so I just kind of went in between the windows. And then up here, I do anticipate this being a card that we'll make at our next card class the end of the month, unless I decide to do something different. But this is a nice card. It also could be a masculine card. It could be, I'm thinking of making some of these for like Father's Day, something along those lines. Okay, and then we'll go down here and we'll do the same thing on the boat that we did on the other ones. And as you can see, the drier your ink gets, the lighter, the less you can move around the ink. You can just pick up a little bit off your ink pad if you want to, but it gets pretty dark and pretty intense, and I don't want that on that card. So that's all there is to that. Blender pens are wonderful. I really do like using them. Okay, now we're going to close up our ink pad because we are done with that. I'm going to take the seagulls, assuming that's what they are, And we're going to do a little bit of stamping with the seagulls, and for that I'm using the black. And I'm going to put one up here in this corner. And maybe one down in this area. I'm going to put a few on our inside piece, just to carry the theme all the way through. And a few on our envelope. Okay. Okay, now we are going to stamp our small piece here of the designer series paper. And as I said, I'm making this into a birthday card. So this birthday greeting says, "Grateful to celebrate you every day." We'll have a little more room with this stamp set, with this stamp. I'm sorry, I have to put this on something dark because with my eye, I can't differentiate between light and dark. So I think that'll look there. Again, for the stamping, I'm using the black for the words. Let me try one on here because this is a brand new stamp and I haven't used it. Let me grab a scratch paper here and we'll just stamp it and make sure gives me a pretty good greeting. It's always a good idea if you have a brand new stamp to stamp it a few times before you put it on your project. Gives you an idea how it's going to stamp. Okay, and hopefully we'll get this kind of straight. If we don't, well, like I said, it is what it is. Oh, that's not too bad. Shoo. Okay. And I think that is the stamping that we have to do today. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this designer series piece and we're going to layer it onto the Blackberry Bliss piece. And this is a very small border. So I always use my green cap glue for that because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room so that I can move things around a little bit. So just putting a little bit on there. And I'll try to get this on here as best I can and as straight as I can. Oops. It moved on me, however, so let's see. Can I pull this down a little bit? I think I can. There we go. Okay. There's that. We'll take this and we will put this on the inside of our card. And I guess I have not kept my stamp and seal in here because I don't see it. So therefore we'll just use the green cap glue. That works okay too. And this will go on the inside. About like so, I think. I like to turn it over and rub it. That way when I have ink on my fingers like I have here, I don't have to worry about that going on my card. Okay, so this, let's see, we can actually put this on also. Again, you don't have a very large border here. Okay, now this, our celebrating you, or celebrating every day, celebrating you every day, grateful to, so is going to go on here. So again, we'll use our glue. And we will put this on here as best we can. On the back of here, we're going to put some dimensionals. actually used 4 of them. This is a card that doesn't have a ton of thickness to it or embellishments, so therefore I think you could very easily get this mailed with a regular stamp. This is my card that I'm making. I do a swap every month, as I've told you. It's called the 6 swap, and we have a group of 6. I'm actually in 2 groups, and we have to mail out our cards supposedly on the 6th. By the 6th. I wasn't able to do that with my surgery and everything, so they're going out tomorrow. I did finally get them done. But, okay, there's that. Now, we're going to, I don't think I showed you these. These are called Artistry Bloom Sequins. They are still available, still current. They're in our annual catalog. And I'm just going to put a few of these. They come in different colors, oranges. And I could maybe even do blue. I'm about out of the pinkish purple, but I'm going to use those up before I switch to the blue. They do already have adhesive on them, so they're pretty easy to work with. And let's see, should I put one? I'll put one up here. And maybe one over there. Okay, you know what, guys? I think that's it. Beside the fact that my lighthouse is definitely leaning, maybe we'll, there's the card. So here's the one I made today with the birthday greeting. And here's the one, my sample, where this one says, "Let hope be your anchor through the storms of life." And then on the inside, I just said, "You're on my mind and in my heart." This is also, in this stamp set, there's also a nice greeting that I think you could use for graduation. It says, "Set sail in the direction of your dreams." And I think that would make a nice graduation card, which I'm going to need a ton of this year because I have lots of grandchildren graduating from high school, from college. It's just a crazy graduation time for us this year. So there we are. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. I appreciate it very much. Remember that our classes this month are going to be March 31st, which is a Thursday, and April 1st. And I will send out the invites a little bit closer to the actual class dates. So enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, and God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.